Would like to lead off this evening's video by just conducting a quick informal poll. Show of hands. How many of you out there believe that in the last 7 days, the entire U.S. military and its leadership have become magically unwoke? How many of you believe that they were just ordered to be woke? They weren't really woke. And now that Donald Trump's going to be president in a month or two, they're going to return to doing things the way that they were done back in the 80s and 90s before all of this DEI hit. How many of you think that's the case? Yeah, probably not a lot of folks are that deluded or that ignorant. This effort to transform the U.S. military into a DEI hotbed has been decades in the making. It started a long time ago. And the problem with the idea that Donald Trump's just going to come in and fire people by the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, he would have to replace them. And that would take an inordinate amount of time, given that he is going to need the U.S. military to conduct his mass deportation. That's going to be a problem. He only has 4 years. They've known this for quite some time. That's why they took the long game angle on this. Tactics of the enemy: infiltration, distraction, confusion, deception, divide and conquer, and attrition. The people that are in charge of the military right now are already wargaming how they are going to resist, how they are going to thwart, how they are going to put up a bulwark against anything Donald Trump might want them to do. Believe me, these folks are well trained in seeming like they're doing what they're supposed to be doing and ordered to do, while not actually doing it in an effectual way. Now, if you'd like to get read in on military psychological operations, tactics, and techniques, we would love to have you at the Florida Maquis Patreon channel. We've been talking about this for years. Over there, we have 4 levels, but at the base level, it's only $1 single US dollar per month. The vast majority of the videos over there are available at that level. There are higher level videos that have been put up, and whatever you think would be worth it, go over there and kick the tires for 90 days. Because you have nothing to risk for 90 days. You'll get a full refund if it's not for you. Dozens and dozens, hundreds of videos going back all the way to 2018. Talking about a vast variety of topics, but primarily psychological operations. The newest videos are going to be for the 2 highest levels, the $10 and $15 a month levels. Unit commanders, brigade commanders, be ready. Keep your eyes open. Let's get right to the meat of today's video. Great news! Great news, everyone! Donald Trump is appointing people to his cabinet at a breakneck pace, and it was just announced that a Baptist who works for the Trinity Broadcasting Network is now the new ambassador to Israel. Does anything seem off about that a Baptist who works for the Trinity Broadcasting Network would be an ambassador to Israel? I mean, I don't want to judge Mr. Trump at all. I mean, he might not know anybody who is Jewish, who might have more of an insight, I mean, other than the guy who pretty much wrote the Abraham Accords, his son-in-law, or technically his daughter, who is also converted to Judaism, or his daughter-in-law, who played a huge role in getting him elected, Lara Trump, or his new national security advisor, Stephen Miller, or his new director of the EPA, Lee Zeldin, or Steve Witkoff, his best golfing buddy, who was actually with him during the second assassination attempt, or Miriam Adelson, who gave $100 million plus to Donald Trump to get him elected, or perhaps one of his lawyers that has been in the courtroom with him, Boris Epstein, Trump's attorney in courtroom. Yeah. Well, I mean, there are people around there that have relationships with Israel as well, like Elise Stefanik, who has also been given a role in the Trump administration, who's gotten $820,000 from the pro-Israel lobby, or Marco Rubio, who's now going to be possibly Secretary of State, who's gotten almost well over $1 million from the Israel lobby, or even from right here in Florida. Michael Waltz apparently is going to have a role, who got nearly $250,000 from the pro-Israel lobby. Interesting times we're living in. Now, I know I have a regular viewer that probably is super excited about Kristi Noem and her new role possibly as the head of Homeland Security. The only issue that I see with that is that she has absolutely no law enforcement experience whatsoever. I mean, none. Even when she was in Congress, she never even sat on any of the committees that talked about law enforcement or Homeland Security or anything like that. Marco Rubio, the original, very first ever Never Trumper, but from back in 2015, you can look that up. The very first Never Trumper ever was Marco Rubio, but then again, so is the vice president, also a Never Trumper. So, I'm just not sure. But, I know what I wanted to talk about. Speaking of governors of Arkansas, I think we possibly might owe someone an apology. I mean, don't we owe him an apology? Because clearly he got something right. How many of you are old enough to remember this? How many of you are old enough to remember Elian Gonzalez? Hard to believe that was a quarter century ago. Stay tuned. If you think this imagery is disturbing, where Bill Clinton sent armed federal agents to kick in a door of a home and rip a 6-year-old boy out of the arms of his family to deport him back to Cuba, just wait. Just wait. You see, this is the kind of stuff that Kristi Noem is going to have to defend in the next few years. If Donald Trump does what he says he's going to do. And, just saying, I want everybody to kind of soak this up. Because I'm sure there's a lot of neocons out there right now, a lot of Trump supporters out there right now who might not have been very old when this happened. They might have just been teenagers. They don't remember Bill Clinton ordering Janet Reno to send armed federal agents, BORTAC agents, into a home to seize a 6-year-old boy who had survived a sinking at sea coming across from Cuba. They brought him here. He had family here. They were taking care of him. He was 6 years old. And because his family back in Cuba threw a fit about it, there was this back and forth. And so this is what happened. They didn't go in and negotiate, the idea of turning the child over. They went in with BORTAC agents. And just saying, this is basically what Bill said, was it only a few weeks ago? Apparently people are not being properly vetted. And, wasn't Obama the deporter in chief as well? So maybe we owe that guy an apology too. Who knows? Facts first. Obama deported millions and millions and millions of people. They don't like to talk about it, though, in the mainstream media. And he used the military to do it. Infiltration, distraction, confusion, deception, divide and conquer, attrition. These are the tactics of the enemy. And if you are the enemy and of someone, and you're not using these tactics, you're going to lose. You're going to lose. So, I guess, congratulations on a Baptist who works for the Trinity Broadcast Network, being now named ambassador to Israel. Not these Jews, not this Jew, not this Jew, not this Jew, not this one, not this one, not this one. None of these people. Not him, not her. Very, very strange times. What do you guys think about this? Leave it down in the comments section. I really think this is going to be a very interesting comments section. So, God bless. Pray for each other. Lift each other up. Like, share, subscribe. Pray for me, I'll pray for you. See you guys next time.